The Argentine Republic participates in peacekeeping missions since 1958, and therefore the Ministry of Defense fosters policies promoting the inclusion of gender perspective in peacekeeping missions. Thanks to the contribution of different national, international organizations, UN bodies, this work is strengthened and thus continues, making these policies a reality. I am determined that UN Women is up to the standard of those who have created it, creating new guidelines and acting as liaison of people and communities worldwide for a common goal. In the UN, we are not distinguishing, is it a man, is it a woman? This is kind of entrained in the UN. In Argentina, we have worked a lot, and it's been a gigantic leap. We are in gender equality. We need to be fair, men, women alike. And men and women should have the same rights and responsibilities, but above all, the same opportunities. Policymakers to achieve this did that, are doing that, and if there are pending issues, we'll continue doing it. But it is a fact already that any military person qualifying for a position, the profile is searched, and it doesn't matter, men, women. We are looking for a profile.
Buenas tardes a todos.
Good afternoon, everybody. Minister of Defense, Minister of Social Development, Madam Michelle Bachelet, ambassadors, delegates of UN missions, MINUSTA and MONUSCO Congo. Thanks for being with us. Members of ministries, armed forces, and welcome to all defense minister, representatives, foreign affairs, academia, and Latin American civil society, and the different parliaments present here today. It is my duty to welcome you to this event. I shall be brief, but for RESDAL, it is a dream come true. RESDAL is not a major organization of the civil society. We, in turn, are a Latin American organization, and we have a lot of will and determination. RESDAL has the necessary resources to do things, but what we have a surplus is members, willingness, members in the region who are always willing to contribute and make everything that is possible so that our institutions work in a framework of democracy, believing in safety and defense. 10 years ago, when RESDAL was created, 3 of the founding members are here. I was not a founding member, but when RESDAL was incorporated, they had the dream of creating a network of people sharing this desire, making Latin America to grow in democracy. They should feel very proud looking at all of you here, knowing that the dream has come true. But we have worked a lot in this regard. Of course, I would like to thank, on behalf of the Ministry of Defense, for their hospitality and your patience.
And UN Women with the support provided to this conference. To the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Canada and Norway, and others that provided financial support, because to bring 50 people to Argentina is costly. So that monetary contribution allows us to have amongst us in this room 50 persons of the Ministry of Defense of the region, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, national assemblies, journalists, academics,
miembros de las Fuerzas Armadas.
and members of the armed forces. And I'd say that this is a dream come true because, you know, everything began as a dream. 3 years ago, the members of peacekeeping activities in the UN and then UNIFEM, they organized a Wilton Park event. In this event, they discussed the role of the militaries in peacekeeping activities, and especially in gender violence situations. A very attractive title. But in English, what is the role of the militaries, actually? And then the organizers of the Congress UNIFEM indicated that nobody from Latin America had attended. So RESDAL committed not leaving Latin America outside this global discussion. How are we prepared and how do we contribute in international security affairs? And those people told us, okay, you gave us they assisted us in the first steps, and they told us, okay, you need a champion, as they call it in the international jargon, like Michelle Bachelet. This was 3 years ago. And we said, okay, Michelle, I mean, so far from our current possibilities. And 3 years later, our deepest thanks to UN Women Director present here, Michelle, thanks for being with us, so that these topics be dealt with. We need a strong impact factor at the level of our parliament, society, the media, public opinions, so that Latin American contribution to peacekeeping operations be sustained. Finally, I cannot but thank the Peacekeeping Maintenance Operations Department that supported the field activities. One activity we conducted in Haiti, MINUSTA, we interviewed military groups, and the other one done by MONUSCO. We will be having an active participation of people who have traveled long distances, and MINUSTA representatives were appointed by the Secretary General. And in the case of Congo, 3 MONUSCO delegates and a delegate of the Minister of Gender of the Democratic Republic of Congo, who have traveled long distances to encourage us and to see how Latin America can contribute. The title of our event has a twofold meaning. First, through peacekeeping activities, we can promote gender issues in the local population, with policies assisting to the promotion of national gender policies, but also peacekeeping missions promote gender missions, how the personnel behaves, but also images and the programs deployed, and very surely, as you saw in the video, through the participation of women in peacekeeping operations. And the second idea is to portray the Latin American experience. If this event allows us to understand how gender is an operational need, contributing to allow those who suffer all over the world to be better. And if the gender allows to understand that Latin America will offer so much given its history, given its culture, the purpose of the event will be attained. Thank you very much. As a Norway representative, the conference portrays how some modest support may be translated into important results. It has been mentioned that in a contemporary conflict, it is much dangerous to be a civilian woman than a man soldier. From Afghanistan to Lebanon, Congo, Colombia, we have seen that international operation conditions turn more and more complex, and there are tremendous violations to international human rights. Civilian populations are object of attacks directly targeted against them, and conflicts include a lot of sexual violence. These are very strong examples that there is a lot to be done still. Norway tries to assist in several areas, and one of the ways will be helping by contributing to the cooperation and to international dialogue on this issue. An example of the Norwegian support is financial support to the RESDAL project, improving and in the peacekeeping of through the UN SCR 1320. Another example is the seminar with humanitarian rights experts from all Latin America. It's a seminar organized last November together with the Foreign Office of Argentina. And we organized it in Buenos Aires. The purpose of the seminar was to see what could be done in order to strengthen the respect of international human rights. This is a topic that concerns Norway a lot. United Nations statistics report that civilian victims have increased by 15% since the last World War, up to more than 90% in the wars as of the 90s. Therefore, the next issues or questions are extremely pertinent. How is the international community facing this new reality? Are we prepared? What must we do to prepare the blue helmets in the best way? These topics demand a serious and substantial approach, and a key element will be to acknowledge that there is a need to have a gender-sensitive approach in the creation and in the maintenance of peace. Any serious analysis in any conflict should include how women are affected. When men are assassinated or are victims, women are quote-unquote raped, mutilated, and displaced. I can't see any reason why war threats against women should not have the same attention as are other threats attaining security and peace. Threats against women's safety, these threats are considered as that they are of a private nature. We do believe that attacks against women, including sexual violence, may be on purpose and disturbing as any other traditional warfare method. So it is absolutely necessary that security institutions may have a gender approach in all the aspects of their work, if they are going to be prepared to respond to the warfare threats of our modern times. Unfortunately, there's still a huge abyss or gap between words and doings when trying to implement the 1325 UNSCR, the resolution of the United Nations Security Council. We need to do more, much more, in order to ensure women occupying the role they deserve in international peacekeeping operations. It is a right they have Besides, we believe that inclusion of women leads us to more sustainable peace agreements and peace operations that are really more effective. Having said this, and it is very important to remember, the question of issue is not only limited to including a woman in the delegation or allowing her to sit on the table. No, this means to broaden our minds and to sustain a gender perspective or vision in all the aspects of our work. Promoting, including women in peace and security issues is a priority for the Norwegian government, and we will continue improving our policies and our efforts to this end. And precisely, it is a great pleasure having supported Argentine state and RESDAL, because we know where the gender efforts may be improved in the international arena. RESDAL work has impressed us and continues impressing us. We congratulate RESDAL's members and its international partners. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all here today to promote rights of women and to be able to attain a more sustainable, fair and lasting peace. We are moving forward, but there's still a lot to be done. I assure you that you can count with the support of Norway. Thank you.
A continuación tiene
Following, Ambassador of Canada in Argentina, Gwyn has the floor. Thank you very much. Madam Executive Director of UN Women, Michelle Bachelet, Minister Arturo Burrucelli, Minister Alicia Kirchner, members of the RESDAL network, authorities, experts, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to participate of the opening ceremony of this international conference promoting gender to attain peace, considerations on Latin American experience. Canada supports the Congress organized by RESDAL. RESDAL is an institution with which we have been working closely in the promotion of gender issues in peacekeeping activities and in the agenda for the defense and safety issues in Latin America and the Caribbean. Our commitment with all these key issues in regional safety activities is framed in what Canada will be doing for the implementation of the 5 United Nations Security Council resolutions on women and peace and security. It is ministers and federal organizations' guidelines so as to how to implement UN SCRs on women, peace and security in topics related to policies, doctrines, programations, operations, and training for peacekeeping activities in fragile nations and in conflict situations. The Canadian Action Plan underscores the participation of women in peacekeeping activities, protection of women's rights and girls' rights, and it tries to ensure equal access to humanitarian assistance and development assistance as well. Canada firmly defends UN resolutions giving priority to key issues of the agenda, including inclusion of women in peacekeeping activities and security policies, just as the eradication of sexual violence in conflict situations. Today, Canada has the honor of chairing the group of Friends of Women's Security and Peace in New York, of which Argentina is a very renowned member. Likewise, Canada has always developed the need of ensuring that all peacekeeping activities deployed by UN have a strong mandate to protect the civilian population and to prevent sexual violence. Nevertheless, in spite that there is a strong mandate is necessary, it's not enough. Peacekeeping operations do also need a key operational and tactics guideline to fulfill the mandate entrusted to them. We need to promote full participation of women in the prevention and conflict resolution activities, just as in peace-building activities. Considering the ever-increasing contribution of Latin American countries in peacekeeping activities, this conference organized by RESDAL is a great opportunity to approach issues such as role of the countries in the region, regional strategies, and challenges for the construction or to build an everlasting peace, and also to insert the perspective of gender. During a year and a half, Canada financed a project by RESDAL in peacekeeping activities in Latin America, USCR 1820 and 1325, from theory to practice, and Canada contributed to promote action plans in Latin America based on the resolutions related to the gender perspective in the field. It was in the framework of these resolutions and with the support of the Norwegian government that RESDAL conducted field surveys in Minuta, Haiti, and MONUSCO in the Democratic Republic of Congo, whose activities and results will be presented here. We are very happy to have representatives of these missions present here today to share integration experiences, the practicalities in the implementation of these missions. Likewise, I would like to take the opportunity to underscore that Canada is very happy to foster cooperation with Argentina and Haiti, especially through MINUSTA, through the group of friends and our three-party cooperation project. We will continue working, strengthening this important alliance or partnership. As fellowship holder of the Canadian government, DONADIO, executive director of RESDAL, he has been the witness of the Canadian insight through a permanent exchange of Canadian specialists and experts in peace and international security issues, such as Dr. Fleckbach, who is also a member of RESDAL board. Conferences such as this one are an example in which the very tight cooperation between our countries is possible to be attained with a common goal, that of building everlasting peace in the international community. I wish you a very fruitful exchange of expertise and experiences to move forward in this issue that is of interest to all of us who want a fairer and more equalitarian and a less violent world. Thank you.
We now invite the ambassadors to descend from the podium.